G'day people, this is Mexico City, and I am sitting out here on this balcony that I have, and it is quite glorious, and I've got one person on the stream, so I'll be keen to hear from you. Where are you from? Welcome to live chat. Oh, it's a gorgeous day here in Mexico City. I'm in Polanco, which is a classy part of town. Why is there only one person? What have I failed to do properly here? I mean, there's a couple of hundred by this stage. Oh, 7, bumping up. So what was yesterday like? It was a mega day at the track. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Did you watch the race on TV? What did you think? I was amazed that they booed Charles. Certainly when the crash happened, I was at turn 1. You might have seen my pictures on my Instagram page, but it's a pretty amazing thing to happen right in front of your eyes. A little bit like Zhou Guan Yu, but not quite the drama at the end. But after they went around, obviously Sergio was spun, and he was spun in front of us and took off again. The next lap, they all booed Charles. Of course, they probably hadn't seen the replay, but did it happen in a lap? No, I don't think they showed it on the screens for a couple of laps. But that was unwarranted because that was clearly a racing incident, as the stewards did agree. But I spent most of my time at turn 1. I reckon I spent about, in fact, I spent 25 laps, because at lap 25, so you're hearing all the sights and sounds of Polanco streets. At lap 25, everyone sort of stood up and put their fist in the air, and I didn't realise they were going to do that, and I know what that was about, because I was there in, I think it was 2019 when the earthquake happened, and I was on the other side of the track, and I took this stunning shot of everybody in the stands. Very noisy. Everyone in the stands with their fists in the air, and it was quite a moving moment. This one caught me a bit by surprise, and that was a show of solidarity for the people that were inconvenienced, and many killed, I believe, in Acapulco. And if you've seen those pictures, boy, that hurricane sure did a lot of damage. Let's get a couple of your comments right now. A couple of people in the UK. Afternoon, says Brett. How far is? More information? What do you actually do for a living back in Oz? Well, I've got several companies that look after themselves, and I come out and work my ass off over here. What else have we got here? How can you make it into F1? I've no idea how you can make it. I know what I did. I applied through the media accreditation page and on the website, and contacted them and outlined what I thought I could do for the sport, and I was accredited back in 2017. I don't know what they're looking for now. I don't think it's a matter of everyone gets in, obviously, because it might sound like quite a cushy job, but I can tell you it's very expensive going from country to country, and it takes quite a toll on both your private life and your body, because you're just constantly eating away from home. Brett, that's an interesting question. Do I plan to pass it on to one of my sons? Certainly Jace would be the ideal one. He's got a great interest in Formula One, but he also has a very powerful interest in drinking with his mates on Thursday, Friday and Saturday nights, and Sunday, and sometimes Monday and Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. He does like to socialise. How's Oscar and Lando doing? I think they're doing stunningly well, don't you? I think the team would be very happy. Hello, Paul Merritt from Virginia. I can tell you today has been the most beautiful weather day I can remember. No breeze, and I reckon it's the perfect temperature. Whatever it is right now, that is the perfect temperature. 1 degree more or less would be a slight it would be, it wouldn't be quite as good. Just wondering what your opinions are of Aston Martin's form recently and the rumours on Alonso. I only heard the rumours today. 2 TikToks alerted me to the case, but yeah, they've certainly slid down dramatically. I know nothing about cars. I just know about people and photography. How's the food scene in that neighbourhood? Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. Not cheap, but it's certainly nothing like the prices you'll pay in Las Vegas. Service is infinitely better than Las Vegas. People are lovely. As far as I can tell, it's safe, and you probably heard that there was a shooting out near the track. The police shot a car robber And I think it involves some F1 people. I don't think it was team, I think it was more supporters. But I believe that person died. You can look that up anyway. I did hear just a little bit about it and did some minimal research. But I do love that paddock out there in Mexico. It's just glorious. And come the evening, once we've finished work, particularly Friday and Saturday night, you can still go out in the central socialising area and there's a bar. And you can stand around and talk to people, get something to eat, drink Heineken if you like Heineken, I don't. Thoughts on Checo? I don't know how he can last. It was such a big opportunity for him and disappointing for him. But hey, what do I know? You would probably know more than me because you would have time to read all the stories. So something like our work day, we have no idea really what goes on in the race. Sometimes we get a glimpse of the screens, but we don't know why someone has slipped from 4th to 12th or gone from 15th to 9th. It's something we often don't even catch up on perhaps a day later. Favourite track? Well, I quite love photographing this one. That stadium is fantastic. The traffic though, it's fucking awful. It's the worst. Yeah, I think it's the worst that we get on the Friday night. It's just chock-a-block. Ugly. If you get rid of that, it's my favourite race. Yeah, it would be my favourite race, I think, because the accommodation here is, well, it's not cheap, but it's certainly not, say, the prices you pay in Singapore for Grand Prix week or in Melbourne is reasonable. And the people are just lovely. I love the way they say my name. Especially the girls call me Kim. It's not Kim, it's this elongated name. And I did a meet and greet on the Friday and probably 50 or so people turned up at that spot and they were just good fun, very polite. Not like that bloke that kicked off in the stands on Sunday punching a couple of Ferrari supporters. Anyway, you get idiots in any culture. I don't think you could put that down to Red Bull fans or Checo supporters. That's just a clown. Worse than Silverstone? Yeah. Maybe on par. Yeah, I forgot about Silverstone. Have you changed your hotel for the Vegas? No, I'm paying nothing for my hotel, so I can't go down anymore. And in fact, I've been given quite a bit of credit to spend at the Paris hotel to review their restaurants, so I don't think I'll be changing anytime soon. But yes, prices of accommodation have dropped dramatically. So if you were thinking about going to the race, now have no excuse if it was previously too expensive to stay. And this is one of the most amazing races in so much as almost all the accommodation is within walking distance of the track. You can't say that at Spa, you can't say that at Zandvoort. Singapore you could, even though it's probably not as close as Las Vegas. Will I be heading to any MotoGP? No, I have no interest in MotoGP. Well, if there was an off weekend and I happened to be in that city, yeah, I'd go and shoot it. Danny Rick is back. Yeah. No, it's not Kim, it's just K and then about 7 Ys and then an M. Same sport, F1. Well, what would you say is the worst airline you've flown long haul? I can think of none that have been really bad. And I was thinking about that today. Do I rank my flights? I can tell you the best. The best would be Emirates first or maybe Swissair first. Because Swissair have that fondue and that always sticks in my mind how good it was to have a fondue in the Zurich lounge. I'm catching a flight very shortly to, where is it? Sao Paulo. And I'm going to take all my own bedding for a video. I've gone out and I've done a whole lot of shopping and I'm going to turn that seat into a bedroom. I think it's going to be a ripper video. I just hope I can get all the stuff through because it's not terribly weighty, but it is a bit of a size. Yeah, I've got a doona, I've got a comforter, I've got a little mattress, I've got a whole lot of other stuff too. So hopefully you'll see that video, I'm guessing within the week. What type of businesses? Have a look at kimellman.com. Tony, that'll answer it all. What was this one? Can you add a toilet roll review in your first class flights? You know what I noticed? In America, or is it here? I think it's here or America. The toilet rolls are this wide. And then a couple of races before, they were that wide. And it was a big difference. I'm thinking maybe 15 millimeters. Americans, you might have trouble working it out. So that would be, what, 2/3 of an inch? Something like that? No, 15, yeah, over half an inch anyway. It was a noticeable difference. Not getting reamed by pricing Singapore, LV, Austin, Miami, especially Miami because your travel costs from Baku. Oh, okay. Who is the friendliest driver? Oh, friendliest to me? Oh, look, I get along with most of them. They're chatty. Valtteri's very good. Lando's great. Pierre's great. Oscar's great. They're mostly pretty good. I've not really talked much to Sergio or Lance, and Lewis is just so busy that you wouldn't get a moment to talk to Lewis. But yeah, look, none of them are rude. They're all great guys and pretty talented. No, same sport, can't do that. Why do you have a cat in the background? Do I have a cat? I don't think I have a cat in the background, do I? No, what is that? That's a quilt. It's not a cat. I did walk a dog the other day. Well, it was a very short walk. And just somebody in the street had this lovely dog and we got chatting and he happened to follow me on one of my channels and had this beautiful husky. I love huskies. Thank you, Derek, for loving my photos. I was quite enamored with some of my Sunday pics. I used a 135mm fixed lens with a polarizer on it, and it was beautiful sunlight and just the glorious colors made me smile. Hello, Nikolai. No, I'm not having any more tacos. I had a little bit. I don't love them. I don't love them at all. What did I have last night? I had a couple of lovely margaritas over here at a restaurant, and was it a steak? Yeah, a steak that was probably 8 out of 10. Today I had a very good hamburger at Sliders. My gosh, that was good. And a chocolate thick shake. What's the security and concern in Mexico and Brazil? Yes, you're on high alert at all times. And at one stage I did have to put away my laptop on the drive back from the track because I felt it was a little dangerous or could have prompted an opportune theft. And the same with Brazil, but Brazil I pretty much go hotel track, and maybe this one shopping centre. Are you a Canon or a Nikon man? I'm Canon. MotoGP is far too exciting. He needs to eat Marmite first. Oh, I can tell you a story. Today I was walking the streets here and bizarrely I came across a shop that had Marmite and Vegemite. A jar of Vegemite, the small jar, about this big, this round. I thought, right, I'll get that. So I went up to pay. Now that jar in Australia is all of $3 Aussie. What they want here? 74 Australian dollars for a jar of Vegemite. So I put that back on his shelf. I doubt, who the hell's gonna pay that? In Vegas, it would be impossible to walk the entire grid. The grid, I mean the track? You can't walk from section to section because there is no, it's not like a normal circuit where you've got all this ground surrounding it. You've got very enclosed areas. So yes, your ticket will get you into an area. I think there's 1, 2, no, I'm guessing there's 4 areas, but I'm back straight after Sao Paulo to Vegas for a week prior to us doing our 4-day start. So I will give you another Vegas update video, and the last one was an absolute blinder. Nearly 600,000 views in 8 days or 10 days. Where am I going in the 2 weeks between? I've just answered that. And it's not 2 weeks, by the way. We get Monday, and then we have to be, Monday's travel day, and then we have to be at the track on Wednesday. So it's not 2 weeks, it's what, 9 days, 7 days, 9 days? You're welcome, Lena. Tell what you shoot with. Camera gear? I've done a video. Go and have a look at that. Where art thou? I'm in Polanco on what is the most beautiful day. A bit of shade. There's some lovely trees here. It's glorious. Teresa's from my birth city, Adelaide, and I spent 21 years of my life in Adelaide. don't really need to move back there. I'm pretty happy in Perth. Well, for the time I'm there each year. Jacqueline spelt my name wrong, but I get the picture. Get your family more often. Great to see them. Yeah, well, when my wife's coming to Vegas, then she's coming with me to Abu Dhabi, and then we're going on a safari in Kenya. And I haven't shot wildlife for, gosh, when was my last safari? Was it 2015? I'm thinking. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't eat street tacos, Hugh. No, I eat from restaurants where I've got a better chance of me not getting some disease of the stomach. No, nothing to confirm, Graham, on Danny Rick signed prints yet. Thank you to the New Age, Como Star from Manila, Bola Bola. Oh my God, please say hi to me. No, not doing that. How noisy is this street? Love your travel videos. You're going to love the next one, Paul, for those who've just joined. I bring all my own bedding on a business class flight. Yep, I've got it all in there. In fact, see it on the ground there? That's it there. It's going to be a ripper video, I think. Make sure you are subscribed. Now, some of you aren't subscribed. You need to be. Hit the subscribe button, and that way, if you also press the notifications, you'll find out when I post these videos and get first view of them. Bring your own bed on a flight. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And there's a couple of funny things that you'll think, what the hell is he doing that for? Promise you'll laugh. No, here's one of my members, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. If you could do photography of other series. No, I wouldn't. This is the only series I like. No, I wouldn't do anything else. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't do anything. I'd just go back to my businesses in Perth. When are you flying to Brazil? Soon. Why do you have a dog? That's not a dog. That's a rug. It's a rug on a bed, isn't it? Yeah, that's the bed rug. Yeah, 2/3 of an inch. Did I soil my fingers? I was very careful. I wore a glove. Upload more vlogs. They're great. What, my travel vlogs? I give you a video on every time I travel, except if it's a 1 hour short flight. So I can't fly anymore. I'm not flying backwards and forwards on days off just to please you guys. And it's not 2 weeks KB, it's 9 nights. And I've already mentioned I'll be in Vegas early. Or did I just roll up here and, oh geez, there's lots of messages here I've missed. If you want to get your message seen, Super Chat is the way to go. Hit the Super Chat button. And if you're a member, I've got a better chance of seeing yours because your comments come up in a different color and are more noticeable. Otherwise, everyone's tends to blend into everyone else. I'll see what else you got here. No one's that desperate for Vegemite. No. Shit, my socks are all black from this outdoor deck. I didn't even find out what Marmite was, and you don't even know how long that's been sitting out there. It could be sitting out there for weeks. No, months. You didn't travel through Houston. That's right, didn't need to. I went straight from Austin. Yeah, and I unfortunately had to get that shitty 8 a.m. flight, which meant that I had to be up early. But next year, well, I think there's an afternoon flight, so I will be looking at booking well early the moment those flights are released and getting the afternoon flight, because that's a drain. Because I want to go out on the Sunday night in Austin because it's a good fun place. Callum points his finger at the screen these days when he sees me. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I'm gonna move this a bit closer to me. It's a bit of a makeshift setup out here. There we go. Ever tried Mexican street food? Nope. No intentions. No watch at the moment. Which driver would you pick for a one-to-one dinner with? Oh, probably Lando. I went to say well done the other night, just as he was, I thought I'll go and just congratulate him on his good showing. He had a line of people waiting to see him. It was crazy. And in fact, I mentioned this in my video that comes out tonight, Australian time, that it is ridiculous. The number of people who just run from driver to driver in that paddock. It's an ugly sight, and it's really, I think it's embarrassing for the drivers. They just shout out, Lando, Lando, photo, 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 photo. And you might have seen my story that Lando, not my story, my post, was it last night or this morning? Where George shoved his face into Lando from behind and shouted, photo, photo, photo. And that's often what it is like. Now, Tace van der Tuinen, and I know how to say Tace because I had a Tace who worked for me many years ago as a sales manager in Perth. So thank you very much for your super chat. No question though, is there a question? No question. But I do appreciate your generous donation to the cause. What do I think of Checo after this race? I think he'll be very, very sad. I was surprised to see him. He had a pretty good start, didn't he, to get up that close by turn one, but very sad. What's the rumour going around the paddock? I heard no rumour, but I did see 2 reports of it on Instagram. No, YouTube today. No, try again, TikTok. Was there some ruckus today about a rumour? Did you get... No rumours, as I said. You're all keen to hear about this rumour that I know nothing about. No, I didn't see I was featured in slow-mo photographing Nico on F1 TV weekend warm-up. Where would I see that? Perhaps you could let me know in the comments where I would find that. I must have missed another... Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah, I must have missed another super chat because the total seems out of whack with what I'm seeing here. You're welcome, Scott. It's been a long time since I've been to Hawaii. Geez, I remember going there. I've been since I went when I was 21, but I had a wicked time then. Hello from Switzerland. What else can I tell you yesterday? On the grid, Jay Balvin and Martin Garrix were the 2 celebs that I thought most worthy of photographing. Jay Balvin in particular, who I'd heard of never before Miami, and then he was in the paddock and they were a bit of a clamouring around him. Then I went and researched him. He's got 51 million followers, and those pictures went straight up to Getty Images and have been then beamed around the world. What's the rumour? I don't know. What time is my flight? Don't you worry about that. I'll be fine. Am I leaving Brazil for Brazil? At some point I'm leaving, yes. How many photographers do the full F1 season this year? 11. I'm one of them. And if I get through this season without missing a race, which I look likely to do, not to do, there will, I think, only be about 6 of us that have done every race in the last 2 years. There was some ruckus today about a rumour, yeah. Don't know. I just know what I've seen on TikTok. Here we go. Ryan, thank you. How do you... Oh, what have I done there? How do I pack for a season? Any weather notice? No, I take normally 2 pairs of denim shorts for the track because you get filthy and you get snagged on wire all the time. I take 2 pairs of jeans, about 7 t-shirts, 3 shirts for F1 with collars, and you've got to have collars because our media pass will rub on the back of your necks, and it's got this, I don't know, it's like almost Velcro, and it pulls the hairs on the back of your neck. So that's the shirts I use, and I take lots of socks, only ever Bombast socks. And I wish they'd sponsor me, but I'm their biggest advocate. It's the most amazing. Here we go, here's one here. These are, and I really like this design. What are these, like a tie-dye thing? But these are merino wool, and I recently spent $800 on socks for a whole year because they've stopped shipping to Australia. So I got a whopping great box sent to a friend of mine in Las Vegas, and I actually wanted to bring them here with me, so I thought I'll order on the Monday. I didn't travel till the Wednesday, I think. But unfortunately, even though they said it's express shipping and it normally can be there in 2 days, I sat at this guy's house waiting for the FedEx truck to arrive. Then I just had to go to the airport, and then an hour and a half later the socks arrived. So there's a box of socks, a lot of them, merino wool socks sitting in Vegas for me to get and wear when I get back there next week. Danny Rick should get that second Red Bull seat next year. If I was a betting man, I'd be betting on it. I think it's now probably even money. Yes, I pay for my travel and accommodation. Who else is going to pay for it? What is on F1 TV? I give up. Florian, what's the answer? Do you know anything about... No, I don't. I'll just keep... I need to have a scroll. I know nothing about rumours. I only know what I saw on 2 TikTok videos. Tace, again, I apologise. I meant, do you hear much rumours in the paddock? Oh yeah, I heard a rumour that Drew Barrymore was going to be there, and she was a friend of Checo Perez's, but that's exactly what it was. It was just a rumour. Yeah, occasionally you'll hear stuff, and oftentimes you'll get told, right, something's going to happen at 10 o'clock, and you'll get told at 8 a.m., in which case that normally happens, and you get a 2-hour jump. Now, if I wasn't more educated, I'd say Jorge Cardenas, but it's Jorge I won't guess the second name. Lost in the Checo talk is that he was about a 10th off Max, and with solid pace throughout the entire weekend. Okay, there we go. Thank you for your feedback. I've got to stop this comment disappearing. Stephen Weir says, are you traveling for free? No, I don't get any flights for free. Not one. Sorry about the movement of that. Stop that. Not one flight have I had for free. Do I recommend the Brazil GP for women going solo? I think it's the same for men or women. It's just got to be careful and not hang around the areas and that is around the track, which are pretty rough. Thank you for your... Do I get recognised? Do you recommend... Oh no, we did that one. I've got to change that around a bit. Sorry about that, people. As long as you're not wandering the city by yourself, you should be safe, Jasmine. Mexico is probably a more dangerous location. But I tell you what, if you wander around Polanco here, you could be in Beverly Hills. This is the most beautiful place. And I know it's not typically Mexican. It's very much upmarket. But it's safe, and I need to stay in safe places. Now, somebody has thrown in some... Milton Brownrigg, one of my biggest followers on social media, and has I imagine, several houses worth of my prints. Milton, hello, hola, good to see you. And did you get my tabard? You recently bought a print. I think we threw in one of the tabards from a race as a good souvenir, and it wouldn't surprise me if when you come to the Melbourne Grand Prix next year, you have that on when I do a meet and greet. And yes, I will be doing one in Melbourne. I did one here. Will I do one in Brazil? Probably not. I think it's too tricky for most of my followers to get to. Some tracks are better than others. I will do one in Las Vegas. So thank you to Milton Brownrigg with 2 G's. Now, other questions here. Hey, from South Africa, says Illuminated Productions. Tace says, thanks for the reply. Do I believe Helmut Marko's opinions about Mexico? Do I believe them? I can't even remember what he said. No, I just know Mexicans, particularly the women, the young women call me Kim, with this extended I. Hello, Terry Robertson, one of my other great members from the US of A. I think I sent you a shirt, didn't I? That was that Alpine shirt they gave me last year. Hi, Paul Mullen from Ireland. What team will contract Checo? Well, I'll tell you what, when the team decides, I think we'll all know about it. Any interesting photo signings coming up to look out for? Yeah, but I never talk about them in advance, only when they're in the bag. You realise you're on F1 TV? No, well, I do now, but I didn't 15 minutes ago. Someone alerted me here. There was a slow-mo shot. Where was I? Tell me, someone tell me where I was. No, I don't shoot for any teams. I shoot, I'm a freelancer, but no teams. I wouldn't be very good shooting for a team, and I don't think you'd like it because you get, I don't know, Aston Martin photos, millions of them, and you get no other photos, no other team photos. That wouldn't work in with my modus operandi. Kim, eating good Mexican food. Had a little bit of it, but I'm not a Mexican food fan. Does F1 pay well? Yeah. Well, I never stop working. That's the thing. If I just went out and did 4 days of photography and tried to sell some pictures, couldn't make it work. But I never stopped working, and that's the secret. People say, "Oh, I'd love to do what you do." I don't think you would. I don't think you'd want to work every second of the day. Certainly, I don't think anyone in F1 does what I do, not to the extent. Thank you for enjoying my YouTube channel. Your mum just turned 80 and will fly from Munich to Vegas for the race. Good on her. In the Mirage section, I don't think I'll get down there. That's quite a hike from the paddock. What else have we got here? How did you get hired? I'm not hired by F1. I just applied for accreditation. In fact, very few people have jobs in Formula One. There's a lot of people say, I want to get a job as a photographer. Hardly any jobs. There's a couple of agencies that have staff, but almost everyone there is a freelancer and works out how to make a living out of what they do. On the grid behind Brundle, was I? Oh, I was rushing around photographing Jay Balvin and Pato and Martin Garrix. Who else was there? Gracie, a pop star. Do I also? No, I don't photograph any other sports. This is more than enough. What did you make of Danny's brilliant drive? It was brilliant. Putting Perth on the map. Two of us are, David. Yeah, and then some other. Well, there's two Melbourne guys. There's Oscar and Kim Keedle. Who else? There's another Benny Jacobs from Sydney. Trains Logan Sargent. He's an Aussie. Yeah. Do you have to be unbiased while you're at the track? Could you just stay with us? Well, look, I could just photograph one team if I wanted to. I'm not contracted to any team, but yeah. Yes, I chat with Ted Kravitz. Well, Ted Kravitz a lot. He's a lovely fella. Yeah, that was a nice little bit on camera, wasn't it, with Ted? But he often, or not often, he occasionally chats with me on camera. I applied Iris through the media accreditation page on the F1 website. It was the FIA website. I don't know how a journalist gets into the paddock. You'd have to have a look at the FIA website. Can you get in and take part in the press conference if you don't? I don't know. I don't know what journalists do. Do you know Aussie? Do you know Aussie Man from Perth? He makes me... I don't know what that's about. What publications can we view your photographs? Well, on my website, you'll see them on a New York Times, ran a couple the other day. I see the Telegraph ran some yesterday. Getty Images sends my images around the world. Starstruck? No, not Starstruck. You don't have time to be starstruck. No, I haven't always been a photographer. And you keep all your passes. We only get one per year. Last year, the whole year, although I did have an issue with one a few weeks ago. Where was it? In Italy, where the plastic on the front had torn off, so I needed a new one. But yeah, our pass gets us in every race. So you get one at the start of the year, and away you go. No. Oh, yes, you have to just submit your application, but it's guaranteed. If you do 14 races, you will get your pass for the following year. Hello, Queenslander Ian Watts. How can we get signed prints shipped to South Africa? There's obviously a reason we don't ship there. And I don't know what it is, but it's in the past. It has just bitten us on the arse and becomes too unwieldy and costly and results in customers getting very angry. So I'd rather not take the money and not have an angry customer. There are some 2 or 3 degree nights in Vegas. Yep, I've got my Moncler jacket coming over with my wife. Teams like McLaren will enjoy the cold temps, do you think? Yeah, well, that first turn's going to be very interesting, but it's not a very long run to the first turn. In fact, I've got a Hasselblad camera coming my way for that race, and I'm going to do some elevated panoramas, which is where you take a shot here, and then you move along 10 meters and take another shot straight across the track and go all the way down the track. And I've done a couple now, and they're quite remarkable in the way that it presents an image that your eyes could never see, because if you stand in one spot and look at say the whole pit lane, you stand in the middle, when you look at the very left-hand garage, you'll only see that left-hand wall. And when you look at the very right-hand garage, you'll only see the right-hand wall. You can't see the left-hand wall. But if you stand opposite each garage and shoot across, and then paste them together, it's a lot of editing work. It's quite a remarkable picture. And if you go to kimellman.com now, you can have a look at one I did, or two. One's in Spa, and the other one was in Monaco. Monaco is just a limited edition canvas print, and it'll be sent to almost anywhere in the world. Greetings from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've never been there. No, I've never been there. I gather you have. Aussie Man from the Other Viewer. Was about Aussie Man reviews. I've never heard of it. So no, I'm not familiar with it. Thank you to Drachmech has enjoyed my content from Brisbane. That's how the Americans like to say it. Any ambitions, wishes in your work you'd like to achieve? Yeah, I'd like to do, and I did look at doing this and I've ruled it out. I had Canon give me 7 cameras and lenses. I had Pocket Wizard offering me 7 remote controls. I had an agency, an organization in Las Vegas who'd given me 7 arms to put these cameras on. And I was going to put a camera on the main straight for the Vegas race, for the very first one, and have them shoot at the same time. So I press a button and all 7 cameras go off, 25, 30 meters apart, and then I stitch all those pictures together and I get an elevated panorama of the very first start of an F1 race. But it became too difficult because I had to leave the cameras there the whole race because I couldn't go and take them down. Disappointing. If you're not a Mexican food fan, it's because you haven't tried a good one. Yeah. Yes, I own ProStar Pics. It's just a website for my content. What country has the best food? Italy? I haven't got my list of countries. Not America. America has overpriced food, I think, except In-N-Out Burger, which is the most amazing hamburger and the best value hamburger I find anywhere in the world. And if you're from those cities that have Whataburger as well and say I should try Whataburger, I've done that and I didn't think it was any good. Oh well, it's okay, but I had a very good burger at Sliders today, but it wasn't $3.50 US, $4.10 US. It was more like 10 or 12. Have you tried Chick-fil-A? Yeah, I did a video on that. Thank you. I'm someone's top YouTuber. Winner. What is the worst spot in the calendar where you get the worst spot in the calendar where you get the best picture? Jesus. Don't know the answer to the question. The race I don't love is China. And we're going back there. Says Death Proof, Santa Rose, California. Thanks for all your amazing pics. My pleasure. And typically, like this weekend, I ended up with some 1,400 photos out of the 15,000 that I shot. Bearing in mind that every time you press the shutter button, you take a minimum 2 shots, probably more like 3. And especially when the cars are going around the track, like that start sequence, I probably got 60 photos of that, one after the other. Everyone's sharp, thankfully, and it makes a great stop motion video. Does your association with F2 mean we won't get any more angry cars? Well, I hope not, because I don't have to. The worst one I've ever had, Nashville, this woman, yeah, she was fat. She was this fat, disinterested woman at a car rental counter, plainly rude, should not have been employed. Unemployable, I would suggest. And I tell you that not often I have to hold back, and I was going to video her, and then I thought, nah, because some people go, oh, it's not fair, you're picking on her. Well, you cannot let that sort of behavior just go. It doesn't happen with F42. I just roll up and they go, here's the keys, Kim. I don't have to stand in a queue. All the paperwork's done. And really, how hard is it if you go to, as I do, or did, with rentalcars.com, I fill in all that information. I've done everything. They've got all of my details, and yet when I roll up, there'll be 20 people in front of me sometimes, or used to be, and they do the whole inputting of information again, particularly in the Middle East. I don't know what sort of morons are running businesses where they take a whole lot of information and then they just put it in a box and go, right, now let's get that information again. We'll pull it out of the box and now we'll do something with it. Shame on them, I say. I wouldn't be running a business like that. What race has the best viewing areas for people without... I don't know. I don't go in the public areas. I went in the grandstand on the weekend in the stadium, and that was great. If you like sitting on concrete, bring a cushion. Do what I'm going to do with my flight to Sao Paulo. I bring all my own bedding, and I do a video about it. I wonder what they're going to say when they see me with all this stuff. In a business class seat, you will get a pillow, and you'll get a thin blanket. I've got this single doona quilt. I've got a comforter. I've got a small mattress, memory foam pillow, and a bit more that you'll laugh at. Biggest regret, missed photo opportunity. There's nothing major that I've missed. I might have got a couple of frames out of focus, but with my cameras occasionally, they will stop. And it doesn't happen often, and thankfully it hasn't happened in something important, in an important time, but in that case, it's just a matter of quickly unplugging the battery and putting it back in again. That normally fixes it. Are any of your kids big... Well, Simon, if you've watched any of my videos, you might have seen all of my videos, I should say. You would have seen some with my son, Jace. He travels to 6 races a year, and he's pretty handy with a camera and getting better. Jet lag, no issue. Sometimes I'll have to take a sleeping tablet on a night when I go to sleep, and particularly when I go to the US. I don't know why, but that seems to be the one I might get it on. Favorite lens? Well, look, it might be the 1-300 Canon. I think I'm going to buy one. Those buggers haven't responded to me yet. That's a $10,000 US lens that is so good. Heavy, but all the pics I took on Friday with it were remarkable, so maybe I have to bite the bullet. What's the local time there? I haven't got a watch on because I'm in Mexico. It's 4:41 p.m. Do you look the whole race through the sensor, or do you... Occasionally I'll stop. Oftentimes in a practice session I'll go out and I will just watch a lap and just watch every car, what line they take, and then I will put the camera up and start shooting. But yeah, occasionally, particularly in a race where you've been going for an hour, if I haven't moved around a lot, I'm just thinking I have too many pictures and I have to go through all of those pictures at some point. So I will stop taking photos. And or I will have my camera up there, but I'm just waiting for either 2 or 3 cars in the shot or something to happen. Will you fly JetBlue? I would if I had the opportunity, but it's not. Look, I've got all my flights booked for the next year, except for the little short ones in Europe, which can wait till the last minute. I just realised I've got that bloody thing in my head, that thing there, sticking out of my head. And that's a no-no in photography. You don't have stuff coming out of people's heads. What's the latest addition to your watch collection? I've ordered a Rolex Yachtmaster 20, and it'll be delivered by the 29th of Feb. I paid for it, just don't know when I'm getting it. Yep, I booked most of my flights. Anything up until September 12 I booked, except for the short ones. Yeah, the 1 or 2 hours in Europe, I don't worry about them. Meetups are good. I don't think I could handle it. What was it? Austin was probably one of the biggest, maybe 100 over 15 minutes. I wouldn't want any more than that because it becomes too unwieldy to manage. Favorite thing to take pictures of? Models, interesting model shoots. And you might have seen the one I did of the nude model in the meat display counter, in the meat fridge. That was very controversial. I like doing that sort of stuff. Gets people interested and sometimes fired up. How do you cope Rio? Some don't like it. Oh, I've only been to Rio once and I loved it. In fact, I stayed in I was in 4 hotel rooms in one day in Rio. Bizarre, because we checked out of one hotel, checked into another one, but the bed wasn't made and the room was filthy and it was not a great hotel, so we checked out of that. Went to a second one and they said, yeah, just hang on, your room's going to be ready shortly. And we waited for an hour and a half. They kept buying us drinks, and then finally we got into that room, but they were holding us out of the room because they'd painted the lobby or that common area on that floor earlier in the afternoon, and it stank of paint. So as soon as we got into that room, we said no, and then we went to a final hotel. So that was 4 hotels in one day. Pascal's shooting in Qatar was just ordinary, terrible. And what happened was, you go into the media centre where it was 16 degrees and you had a rug, and you'd be in there for 20 minutes and your cameras would get icy cold, and then you'd go outside, and for 15 minutes you couldn't shoot because your filters and your lenses all fogged up because of the condensation. No, it wasn't an ideal situation. Who was wearing the Della Morta's mask this weekend? That's wrestling mask, and it was Pierre Gasly. It wasn't my most popular shot, but I think it was my most vivid coloured shot of the weekend. I loved it. Yes, I do have a Tag Heuer, Matt. I had one that I had when I was when did I buy that? Oh, must have been 30 years ago, 40 years ago now. It was one of the very first ones. Had the gold and the silver little bracelet. That was very nice. Now that you've had some time, how's the Switch? Oh, the Canon R series is amazing. With the one rider that occasionally it just stops doing what it should and you have to take the battery out. Yes, more signings planned. A blue chrome. I've been looking into buying a blue chrome F1. Don't know what that means. What's this one? What kind of shutter speed do you use to freeze a car at full speed? Well, you can use anything from a 1/6 of a second up to 10,000th. If you pan at a 6 and you pan at exactly the same rate that the car is moving, you can make the car sharp. But if you're out, it'll be blurry. All right, here's a super chat from Zimzum. Hello. Zimzum appreciates my content. Definitely one of my top 3 YouTube channels. I want to know what the other 2 are. Are they F1 related? Are they travel related? I watched a few travel videos and quite love them. But I notice a lot of the travel stuff that I watch, the presenter doesn't do much talking to camera. They do a lot of, not all of them, but some of them do a lot of voiceover stuff afterwards, which I've not time to do. I'd rather shoot it as I'm going, and then I send all that vision back to Jack in Australia, who this year has saved me, I reckon, 21 hours a week I've got back in my life, because Jack edits my videos in Perth and does a stunning job, better than I could, and he understands F1. I'm actually heading off shortly to have coffee with a very nice guy who was walking his dog the other day, and we got chatting. He followed me on one of my channels, and then I walked his dog, and somehow we ended up, oh, that's right, he said, if you need anything, yell out. And I said, yeah, I do. I need something for this video that I'm doing on my plane the next day, whenever it is, 2 days time, and I needed something else. He said, yeah, organised. So I caught up with him over at a restaurant just around the corner, and we ended up having a nice lunch, him and his partner. It was good. Any plans buying a Richard Mille? Never. No interest in them. Some exciting watch news coming up in the next few weeks, I think. All right, let's get out of that comment there. Do you appreciate different food in a lounge? Do I appreciate different food in the lounge versus the plane? Yeah, I always like it when I get good food, and really the only places that I get great food at an airport lounge are Emirates in Dubai, Swissair in Zurich, Qantas First Lounge in Sydney, although the pizzas in the Perth domestic lounge are very good. And to that end, I have purchased an Uni pizza oven, which I love, and I think it cost me about 1,000 Aussie for that, but it is magnificent. Cooks at 950 Fahrenheit, and cooks a pizza in 90 seconds. And I'm itching to get home to have more pizza in the off season. Do F1 photographers pay for their flights? Yes. Yes. Unless they're an employee. I'm not an employee, I'm a freelancer. That is my favorite part of your videos, the talking to camera in cool locations. Good to hear. Most scariest moment while working in F1. Nothing comes to mind. Yeah, the first thing is Lance Stroll spun, I'm guessing 2019 or 21 maybe, in a practice session, in Budapest at the Hungaro ring. But I was never in danger, but I was very close to it and thought, oh, I'm glad he kept going on that same direction, didn't dig in and hurtle over the top of me. Did a lot of spectators, yes, well, did they leave the circuit after Checo was out? I noticed a lot of people walking down the stairs and out the grandstands, but what they did when they got down there, I don't know. Maybe they went down to the fan zone and ate and drank, I don't know, but certainly a number of people vacated their seats in the grandstand. Hello, Japan. Brother Reggie's there. What got you into F1 photography? I wanted to do it, and I was at a 2016 Grand Prix. No, it was the last race of the year in Abu Dhabi. I was a guest of Red Bull. No, I paid, but I was in their hospitality suite. And I was standing listening to Daniel Ricciardo talk to his engineer on the two-way, watching all this going on in the garage. I thought, yeah, I wouldn't mind shooting this sport. So that's what got me started. Now, somebody at KB mentioned that I should try and get a hot lap with one of the drivers. Yeah, but I just haven't had time to speak to anyone. Maybe they'll hear this and take pity upon me and come and say there's a seat available this afternoon. Do I like shooting in Brazil? Yeah, I don't mind it. Terry Robertson has kicked in some serious money, some US dollars, and they're probably the most valuable dollars that there are in the world. Thank you, Terry, for your constant support. And Terry's an astute judge of character. He says that nobody does F1 better. Well, I'm glad you think that. I don't know a great deal about the racing side of things, nor do I really care. I don't really care who wins. In fact, I'm a little bit fickle in that respect. If when Lewis was winning, I wanted someone else to win. Now Max is winning, I want someone else to win. And I'm the same in sports when I'm watching, say, a game of something. If I have no real love of a team, I just want whoever's behind to catch up and make it interesting. I just don't want a routing. Says Zimzum before I leave, not F1 related. Hoovie's Garage and Scotty Kilmer are the other two. Almost every other F1 channel is all hype and filler. Yeah, well, I look at a lot of the people who do stuff about F1. I think they're just watching the television and talking about what they've seen on television. Which, I guess, if they can't make it to a race, that's not a bad option. But no one on those television, no one on those podcasts or vlogs are going to be able to tell you that George Russell pushed a phone into Lando's face, because unless they watched whatever that TV camera was that was next to me, but there were only two of us there. So I get to, and I'm privileged and very fortunate to get to see stuff that goes on in the backlots where there is no television camera. And a lot of the stuff that I do see is in areas that there are only me and drivers, like the car parks. So it's my pleasure to share some of those experiences with you. Now I have to go and see a man about a dog now, so I will thank you very much for your attention and say goodbye when I work out how to stop this. How do I stop this?